First of all, you don't know when you're done with your tikkun. That's first of all. Nobody knows. Nobody can say, oh, look how religious I am, I can go. That's first of all. Because the days that a person gets are counted. You get the exact amount of days what you're supposed to do here. Yeah, you can still do mitzvot.
Because other people rely on you, they still need you.
Not only that, you can do still more mitzvot. You can get more of these diamonds from the 3-hour bonus. There's no, first of all, we don't really know when we're done with our tikkun. You can do your tikkun a day before you leave this world. That's first of all. Second of all, let's say, which is not usually the case, a person did tshuva, got to a much higher level, רצה הקדוש ברוך הוא לזכות את ישראל, לפיכך חיבר להם תורה ומצוות. So Hashem says, oh, you're already in such a high level, תחיה, live another 20 years, I'll give you to do mitzvot all day long. So there's no such a thing. Nobody can really come and tell you, oh, I'm done with my tikkun, I'm such a tzaddik, that's it, I don't have to do anything. Nobody knows that. You don't know what's your tikkun. Could be that your tikkun is in 30 years, bichlal, and right now you're like getting ready for your tikkun. You don't know what's the purpose. Nobody knows the purpose of why he came to the world. Maybe my purpose, I'm actually going to actualize it. I don't know if it's such a word, but maybe I'll get to my purpose when I'm 60. And now I'm only preparing for my purpose. So a person cannot come and say, oh, I'm done. That's it. I'm religious. Nobody can come and say, what, you read the whole Shas, you know the whole Shas off by heart, you did your tikkun, what did you do? How can you evaluate your tikkun? You don't know what you did. You don't know what you did in previous life even. Because even if you look at the nosach of the Ari when Kriyat Shema Lamita, it says, "Zareni mochel lechol mishichis oti begufim mamoni v'chulu v'chulu, ben begilgul ze, ben begilgul acher." I don't know why I'm here. Maybe I'm here. Maybe I did finish my tikkun in this world. Maybe I have tikkunim from the previous generations, from previous reincarnations. I don't know why I'm here.
And mine wouldn't have thought. So it could be that I'm just one spark, and there's other sparks living right now from the same neshama.
Yeah,
right now.
yeah. The neshama can be in 10 different bodies at the same time.
In one family.
Yeah. You don't even know.
So that's what we have to care for.
Yeah.
That's how we started off with like 600,000 souls, I think.
Yeah.
From Egypt, and now we're like millions.
But it's all sparks. It's more like branches. You look at a tree has a branch, and each branch has more branches and more branches and more branches. Essentially, why is sinas chinam is the worst sin? Because it's like me punching myself in the face. Like how can I hate you and you and you? We're the same thing. We're in essence, move the bodies. We're the same thing. We're all one.
There's many, not from you, not from you. Sometimes it gets very difficult. You have to love them.
You have to love everybody.
If they don't love themselves, how can you love a person?
Because Chassidut explains in a very simple way. Because you sometimes, the Gemara, Halacha says, the mitzvah, you see somebody does avera, he's a rasha, mitzvah lisnoto. This is halacha mamash. So what do you mean? I see a chiloni, a secular person going into avera, I have a mitzvah to hate him. But Chassidut comes and gives a chidush and says, no. His neshama is what's called begalut, is in exile. Because he's been such tuma, so much averot, the neshama is in exile, what's called begalut baklipot. So you look at a person, and you see him doing averot and everything, he doesn't know. He's not only that you feel bad for him, it's almost like you walk down the street, you see a house burning, and you hear a person screaming, help, help! Your instinct to run in and grab that person. Why? Because you want to save his life. So you see a person going down the street, a Jew that is not religious, and he's mechalel Shabbat and doing all sorts of averot, you can look at him and be like, disgrace to my nation. No, you have to look and be like, miskan. He's trapped in this body. He doesn't know anything. I have to wake him up.
How can we help them if they don't want to help?
Do we have? How many times do we rebuke them?
The thing is, no. To rebuke is not so. Rebuke is not always the right way, because you can, in rebuke, very easily push him away. How can you help him if he doesn't need help? You have to be tricky. And you have to try in all sorts of darkei noam. You have to להוכיח מישהו. אתה רשע, אתה הולך לגיהנום.
Not like this, obviously. That's not rebuke, that's killing a person.
Yeah. rebuke is כאילו שבא ומוכיח מישהו. אתה יודע, אסור לך לחלל שבת, אתה מחלל עכשיו שבת. So, בטח.
They don't give you that opportunity to,
Because I'm going to give I'm going to give you an example in a very not way to say it, but if you now go to somewhere and you see a person who's mentally retarded and he comes and hits you in your face, can you be upset at him? He's a mentally retarded person. He doesn't know. He doesn't control his body.
It's not his fault, but this person is.
He's the same level. When you see a person that is not religious, he's so trapped in this body that he doesn't know what he's doing.
So what do
You have to have mercy on him.
Somebody that you're well close to you, and they're not. It's almost like it's not their fault, but at the same time, it is their fault.
So you have to slowly, you have to look at them from above and say that person is like a crippled person and I have to help him in any type of tricky way to kind of pull him my way.
What if it affects your shalom bayit?
Look, every little scene, if it becomes very sophisticated, then you either have to, if you don't have your own tools, then you have to go to a rabbi to get the right tools. But almost any some situations you have to back off. Sometimes it's not your job.
We try with different rabbi. It's just the person does not want any kind of. They say leave me alone, but at the same time they're doing damage. Or if they say something, or they do something physically.
If you try and try from here and try from here and try from here and try from here, nothing works, at least you did your effort. That's what I'm saying. Each scenario is dealt completely different. Some scenarios you have to put a lot of pressure. Some scenarios you better to leave it alone. Some scenarios it's a person that, you're saying we tried. Maybe that person will not listen to anyone. He would listen dafka for that person, and that person is going to come someday. You know, when people come and call me and tell me, can you talk to my son? Can you talk to this? He's doing this. Well, what's going to help if I talk to him? He's going to see another person with a long beard trying to convince him. It doesn't work like that. Sometimes, like in radio channels, sometimes you need a different frequency. So you will come, and another 10 people will come to that person. He will be like, I'm not listening. The frequency is not clear. And another person will come with his attitude, and he will push him back. The best thing you can do in this situation is just pray for that person and just, accept that person how he is, and not push him away. I was invited 2 weeks ago to speak somewhere in Florida for a group of people, of all the boys that were from religious family and went off the derech, but big time. All of them are drugs and anything you can imagine. The worst place. This is the type of people that anything you're going to come and talk to them, brick wall. You're not going to talk to them even. So this guy has this whole group, and they come out to his house. He's about tshuva. He's like this cool guy, and he invites them over to see the football game, but gives them kosher food. He invites them to Shabbos, gives them kosher food. Doesn't tell them don't bench, don't bless, don't do anything. Just come. And he's like, how you said before, afuch al afuch. So I came and talked to them. Maybe it was 60 people there. And this is the type of people that if you're just going to tell him something, right away, brick wall. The thing is that each person needs the delivery. One needs the delivery express. He pays UPS extra, he gets it right away. One needs it overnight. One needs it ground shipping. Come slowly. And not from the right person. Sometimes when you talk to a certain person, you make more damage. And then another person will come and with one word be like charming him. So for example, when I was talking to these guys, they were relating, I have a past, that we're not going to even get to my past. But they were able to relate. And I didn't come to tell them, you're going to go to Gehenom, and you're doing such averot. You can't even imagine the averot they're doing. There's not averot in the book that they're not doing. But they don't need me to come and tell them that they're going to Gehenom and they're doing averot. They need to come. You know what they need? They need a hugging hand. Come, boy. I don't care that you're not doing any mitzvot. You're a Jew. You're my brother. I love you. That's what they need. When you give them that, it will take maybe a week, 2 weeks, a month, a year. At the right time, the person will come back. Sometimes when you try to give too much, you push. You're not bringing closer. So that's what I'm saying. Every scenario you can. There's not a rules. Do A, do B, do C. C doesn't work, do D. D doesn't work, do E. E doesn't work, punch him in his face. It doesn't work like that. Each person, chanoch lanar al pi darko. That's what Shlomo HaMelech says. You have to be very smart here. And sometimes you have to let the person leave. He needs to go out to the world to get a few punches here and there, to get arrested, to get here, to get this, so he can go all the way to the bottom of the bottom of the bottom, and ממעמקים קראתיך Hashem. Sometimes the person needs to get pushed till so down. So each individual is totally different. Some people need a little push, and they wake up. Some people you need to completely back off and just accept. This one family now that I'm dealing with,
It's self-destructive though. It's so painful to watch a person,
it's a problem. And unfortunately, there's not an answer for everything, because the thing is, when a person is very self-destructive and he's already in a point that usually, for sure, religion is just going to turn him off, you have to find all sorts of, tachbulot, all sorts of different ways. You have to find. This one family called me like half a year ago. The girl, not going to get into all the issues, but she was like at the bottom of the bottom, and they asked me to talk to her. I said, I don't mind talking to her, but I don't know what's going to come out of there. She doesn't know me. She's going to see a person with a beard and all that. She's probably going to get like, She's from a religious family. She got into a lot of drugs and stuff like that. Then she got married. Then she got even more worse in drugs. She has a kid, left the husband, a whole mess. Years on drugs and abuse and all sorts of problems. And now she's like at the bottom of the bottom. So when I went to talk to her, I was like, if I'm going to talk to her anything about religion, she's going to be, another one. All I talked to her was about drugs. And I have experience. So I did this, you did this. Suddenly she doesn't see this. Suddenly she sees this. And I was in this party. I used to listen to that music. And I know this drug. If you mix these them together, ooh. So suddenly she's like, it's eye to eye. She doesn't see this intimidating person coming and telling her, ugh. She sees this guy telling her, I used to do this, and you think you're crazy, let me teach you how I do what I did. So, each person...
Teaching her new things though.
No, don't worry, there's no teaching new things. I'm not going to make her do more sins. The only thing that I can do is to go down to her level. Torah Chassidut teaches you something very, very simple. That when you want to be mashpia, when you want to give, you have to go down to the level of the mekabel. You cannot stand here and be like, A big rabbi, a good rav, doesn't speak from here. He speaks from here. He goes down to the level of the one who receives. Same thing with a father and son. Same thing with a husband and wife. Same thing in any relationship. If you're smart, you don't stand here with a big gava and says, I'm smarter than you, I'm better than you. The message would not get delivered. Why? Because if I'm standing here and the message flies above you, but if I'm standing in your level, the message will hit your face. So if you want to be a mashpia, the one who gives, you have to go down to the level of the mekabel, of the person who receives. And there's many different explanations. We were talking about Abaye when he used to start a shiur. What's a shiur of the Tana Abaye? It's not a shiur that somebody here gives you. He would start the class with a joke. The milcha de b'dichuta. He would start, to get the talmidim all like happy and relaxed. Okay, now let me teach you. Yeah. Not milta de shita, milta de b'dichuta. Like a joke. So when you see that any time that a person wants to be the mashpia, you have to lower yourself. And it's not a yerida for you. A lot of times you see like a person going in Manhattan, trying to find a Jew, and people says, why are you putting yourself in this place? No, dafka in this place I'll find all the lichluch. And you see people rabbis going to India and South America because they know there they can pick up all the fruits. Why? They're lowering themselves. Yeah, but I can grab somebody. And the thing is that if you're trying to save somebody from above, it's never going to work. You have to go to the level of that person. And that lady was able to, we had a relationship because we didn't talk about religion. I didn't talk to her how she's abusing drugs. I didn't talk to her how she left her husband. I talked to her about parties and about drugs. So after a few of our conversations, we were friends. Now I'm her buddy. So she came to my house. Oh, now you're in my house. Maybe you eat something kosher. Up to now, you only eat treif. So she suddenly started coming. So she didn't come to my house to hear a Dvar Torah. She came to my house to hang out. And my wife is cool, so she hung out with my wife. But on the way, she ate kosher food. And on the way, by the way, Shabbos, she heard Kiddush. So she was pretending she's not listening, but she still heard Kiddush. And she still did this, and she still did that. And the house is soaked with Kedusha. So slowly, it becomes like a agent of the Mossad. He comes under the carpet. It doesn't come straight to your face. So each person gets dealt in a different way. And Don't worry. The person sometimes needs to go the worst and this. And if you can't do anything and you tried all the options, that's Hashgacha Pratit. That's what Hashem wants. Hashem wants that person to go so far, and there's maybe a reason for that. You never know. Sometimes, yes, the person does, and maybe that's that's the thing. He has to go very far away. You have to do whatever you can to help him and him or her in Bedarkei Noam. And you know, the Torah is only peace. If you go b'milchama, head to head, nothing works. If you go b'peace, I don't know the older situation, but there's a lot of Rabbanim, they say, no, you have to hit the person on the head, you have to do this. No, it's not always the solution. Sometimes I deal with a lot of families that their kids, they're going off the derech, they're going for drugs, they're dating shiksas, they're doing Hashem Aracheh, what they're doing. These are frum families, the father is a Rav. And why it happened? There can be so many reasons. No, I'll tell you what, some sects, I don't want to say Lashon Hara about anybody, but some sects, they really choke the kids. Too much, they don't give the kids any freedom. So some kids fine with it. 1 out of 10, it's too much pressure, too much. You know, today I went with my kids somewhere in Long Island to like a park with animals and water slides, stuff like that.
It's normal, but our kids, our families, our communities is too open.
So you have to know what's the right line.
Minimize the damage.
But for example, what am I telling you? That I went to this place and there was a lot of religious people and there were like water slides for little kids. So my boys, they took off they were stayed with pants, they couldn't wear tzitzit, but they were stayed with their kippah. Okay, little boys, a 5 years old, a 3-year-old. But then we saw like girls from other Hasidim, they went in with their tights, with everything. And my wife and me were looking, and I was like, okay, like, what are you, can't let a 5-year-old girl take off her tights? She's a little girl. What happens in a situation like that? I can't judge. But could be a girl like this, after 18 years, so choked that they have to break free. And that's what happens in a lot of communities. They choke the kids too much, then they break free. Sometimes they let it out too much. A lot of the people that I deal with, either they were abused, sexually abused, physically molested, beaten up. There's so many things going on. Parents, you know, a teacher, a stranger, a kid can, you know. I met now when I was in Florida, a young guy, very religious family. The guy's like 20, 22 years old, and he's totally not religious, nothing. After I was there for 2 days, he's like, I'm going to start putting tefillin on every day now. But when I got close to him, he told me, my father molested my sister. I got turned off from religion. I don't talk to my father. I see my father with a beard, Nayamak and the whole thing, and pray and all this, but he goes and does that to my sister. That's it. In one, huh?
How's the sister?
I don't know about the sister, I'm talking about him. he got so... הטריד אותה מינית, עשה לה מעשים שהשם מרחם עשה לה, אני לא יודע בדיוק מה עשה, הטריד אותה, עשה... But anyways, the man got totally turned off. Go now convince him to come back to religion. He's traumatized. Now you understand. So the guy goes totally off the derech. Doesn't want to hear about religion. And I met another guy who used to come to my Shabbos table, totally not religious. I don't know even how he even agreed to come to my table. And he was like, don't talk to me, don't tell me anything. I'm never when he come really. I'll come because he wanted to come for Sudat Shabbat. Whatever. After a couple of Sodot, he confessed that his father used to beat him up when he was a little kid. And he said, you know, I looked at my father who prayed in the Bet Knesset like this and studied and everything. And then I come home and he beats me up. This is the Torah. I don't want to be part of it. And he totally got turned off from Torah. He went off. He doesn't want to hear about it. Why? Because the image in the little boy's head is this: the father with the tzitzit and the kippah and the beard and learning Torah all day long beats him up. So that's how you have people that they run away. They're like, I don't want to deal with it.